Yeah, this is point black. Now we see some shit going on that's coming deep. You know what I mean? We see Donald Trump is definitely catching heat. Well, he should expect that. And so do the rest of us. This is not about, just Donald Trump. This is about the United States as a whole. From what we see and going on across the planet Earth altogether, should speak for itself, because we're seeing the evils and the atrocities of the United States and Britain and what they did in the Gaza Strip. This is not the first time or the second time. This is more than that. They've been going into Africa for years, even going back to the days of the crazy ass Napoleon. So we know full well that this just is what we expected to happen. Now we're going to see for a fact the evil and the control over the United States government at its full bloom, whether it's Donald Trump or anyone else. As we see here, it says the former federal prosecutor and legal analyst Jean Kirshner, or whatever her name is, said on Friday it would be inconceivable for the Supreme Court to allow the former president, Donald J. Trump, back into the White House amid efforts to remove him from the ballot. But they shouldn't be removing him from the ballot because creepy Joe Biden and the rest of them have done 10 times worse. It's just that the fact that the demon Democrats have a way of a way of showing the crime but not being prosecuted for it, nor brought up on charges to the fullest extent as which we see with Donald Trump, nor is answering for the crimes of which is being committed right now as against crimes against humanity and the world as a whole. What we see is going on in Africa with Sudan, Ethiopia, and the Gaza Strip, and many other places in Africa and all over the world. This type of persecution coming from a race of invaders who seem to have no mercy based on understanding that you do not belong there. So what we're seeing going on in the Gaza Strip, I hope the United States of America is prepared for that to happen to them one day. And your children will be asking, why didn't you do something? See here where Trump is, certainly the leading candidate for the 2024 GOP presidential nomination by a wide margin as he seeks to retake the White House from, the creepy ass Joe Biden. In the hypothetical general election polling matching up, Trump and Biden are largely neck and neck. They should not be neck and neck. Trump should be way ahead altogether. Because what we see in the Gaza Strip also has a lot of bearing on both of them. Don't think that it was just the Republicans who allowed a lot of things to go on before Trump even got there. But we do see that creepy Joe Biden using the United States government and Britain, decided that they have to create an Israel. Why in Africa? Because of the region, because of the wealth, because of its resources, their breadbasket. So we see here where they're trying to sit there neck and neck. But that just goes to show me that the American people still haven't learned from the Bang-a-lang, Chang-a-lang. But that will manifest in time. We see that neck and neck, with some polls giving the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, the edge, and some showing a lead for the incumbent. In more ways than one. So we see many of this stuff that's going on does not seem to make any sense based on it all. We see Donald Trump stung by illegal filing hours before the New Year's, whatever. But we see Special Counsel Jack Smith urges the federal appellate court on Saturday to reject, the president, the President Donald J. Trump claims that he is immune from prosecution. And yes, he is immune from prosecution. He is immune from prosecution. Isn't the Biden family immune from prosecution? Isn't Jack Smith also, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, mm, ah, and even what's her name didn't escape, but he didn't go to jail. Komoro Morales, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kamala, Bush, Donkey Jr., you know what I'm saying, his father, and many, Ronald Reagan, Nixon, you could go on, probably even Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter, you know what I'm saying. In many ways, we see the evil within our government that has been manifesting for years. So there is no way to tell me that the Demon Democrats in over 47 years and better, you know what I'm saying, made this country any better anywhere. All they did was create animosity, hell, and fire. And now, many of these people, you know what I'm saying, that they have crossed in many ways, murder, kill, and still genociding today, you know what I'm saying, will want revenge one day. Don't think that revenge die easily. The wickedness that we see in the Gaza Strip does not make any sense based on human life or humanitarian or humanity as a whole. What we are seeing is a slaughter and a carnage on the Palestinian people, the general public of the people, you know what I'm saying, not the government, not Hamas, and not all that other PLO shit. We talking about the general people who wants to go on with their lives and so on. We see the same in Sudan and Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? So we know that a lot of the bullshit is now here in our land. We see Trump is accused of working to overturn the results of the 2020 election. He didn't overturn any damned election, and whatever you're saying he worked to, he did not do. You know what I'm saying? Because Trump cannot control everyone. Second of all, he was running for re-election, so he has the right to challenge the election process. Why not? Any president that takes office in this country should be able to, but we see as the ringing in my ear consists and grow, because we know they always want to hear what the black got to say, you know what I'm saying? We know that when you look at the election run up to the violent riot at the U.S. Capitol, the violent riot was never proven to be a riot based on Donald Trump followers, nor was it based on Donald Trump leading the charge. Second of all, the words in which you say you has manipulated. So the investigation into everything to do with that is completely wrong, criminal, and the wickedest shit I've ever seen in our government. You know what I'm saying? Talking about his violent riot at the U.S. Capitol by supporters on January 6, 2021. He has denied any wrongdoing. Yes, he should, because he didn't have any wrongdoing. All he said was, like I said, go up there, do something about it, you know, march or protest peacefully and patriotically. You know what I'm saying? Whether they take it the way they want to, that's on them. We also saw evidence of people telling them that they're wrecking the White House, because those people that were wrecking the White House were working for the demon oligarchs and these big deep state suckers. So we know full well that there were supporters of Trump, might have been there, but they weren't into wrecking the White House nor tearing it down. Once the riot begins, how do you stop it? Same we saw with Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? They're criminal, blows up every organization. All these organizations that you're seeing in the United States today are not on the basis of reality or the basis of protecting the American people. Majority of them, even corporations and all the medical field in itself, is now against the people, and the people have fallen victim to this. But we see January 6th, the riot at the U.S. Capitol by supporters on January 6th, 6 feet deep, 6 feet apart, January Luciferian 6. You know what I'm saying? On that day, 2021, he has denied any wrongdoing. I agree as well. In a new brief filed with the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, circuit prosecutors argue that Trump claimed that he cannot be prosecuted. You know what I'm saying? And from what we see, that makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Because we see he cannot be held to account for crimes in the office, threatens the democratic constitution, and so on and so on. You get the picture. But we don't need to have that type of understanding based on anything he has to say, because from what we're seeing going on today in itself is a crime against humanity all around the board, even with the medical field. So if the American people continue down the road that they're going, I don't know about the older ones like me and so on, we probably won't be here, but you know what I'm saying? But those who will be left behind will be in a peril and a place in which we could have done something to make it better. Just leaning towards the demon democratical machine and its oligarchs and the crooked shit that they do in the deep state garbage and all of them put together, along with that shitty statue they call Baphomet, you know what I'm saying, is doing garbage to our country based on some type of spiritual war. And we must be able to break that bond because we are not involved with your garbage. Your garbage is your garbage. So the American people is sitting up there choosing to support this clown and its administration, not just the clown, but the whole democratic democracy, democratic demon, democratic garbage. You know what I'm saying? We do not support that. We as free people must support freedom at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Because the invasion that we see at the southern border speaks for your freedom in jeopardy at this time. We must now unite all over the world, not just here in the United States. All over the world, that concludes all free people and all common people of the land, whether rich or poor. We must stand up for what is right and what is truly righteously right. We cannot lean on no democratic machine or trickery, garbage, undercurrent bullshit, you know what I'm saying, and expect that we are going to get anything out of that. This is why the Southern boys caught so much heat. You know what I'm saying? We must now start to look at this as a one thing. Too many people are bent on control. Too many people are bent on chaos. Too many people are bent on all kinds of crazy shit that if this country was to ever fall into chaos in what they want to call their so-called shitty apocalypse, you know what I'm saying? Many, of course, will die. Probably even you. So we must now start to look at this from a brighter light, because there is nobody in the world that should be going through what we see is going on in the Gaza Strip by an invading, occupying group of people and countries, backing them up with that might against those who do not have that might or never will, based on the damage and the killing and the murdering. Not even to create a two-state solution, because Netanyahu will not allow it, because he's a criminal and a deep stater just the same. These people are not what they say they are. They are not original to that land we call Africa or Egypt or the Gaza Strip. That is an invasion, and they are murdering the people who give them the right to go there, set up camp, and then expand, and now want to murder off the very people that you came in there and now calling you a neighbor, but you are a murderer. So we see the light and we know the truth. When it comes to even Donald J. Trump, how dare them ban him from and these different states to follow suit right behind the deep state and deny Donald J. Trump a right of a fair election one-on-one. It does not make any sense that the American people would even back creepy Joe Biden and the oligarchs and the deep state and all the crooked motherfuckers across the United States to be backing something such as this to keep Donald J. Trump from the ballot. The Supreme Court should be damn shame of their fucking self. And if they call that a Supreme Court, it has never looked that way in many ways to me, including during many of your pandemics and your bullshit. And you look like a complete fucking kangaroo fucking court. You know what I'm saying? And always have to me. You have never proven to me in the Supreme Court in any shape or form that you have justice in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And we see that all around. You know what I'm saying? Fairness is fairness. You know what I'm saying? The understanding of hardship is hardship. You know what I'm saying? There should be no court that is so hard that they make people suffer for just trying to survive. We're not talking about hardened criminals, murderers, killers, and all the different blood-sucking, raping bullshit that they do in certain people. We're not talking about those crimes. Those crimes must be checked at all times. But when we're talking about a regular man trying to make a dollar, trying to make work, trying to feed his family, and so on, you know what I'm saying, can go to court and receive such harsh treatment, you know what I'm saying, is not fair in no shape or form. This, what we see in the Gaza Strip, reminds us of something that is the worst. It is gut wrenching. It is gut wrenching. And to sit up here and he's talking about backing them up, because what people don't understand is they created that. Creepy Joe Biden was a part of that creation of the invasion and occupation in that land, and now murdering off the people. You know what I'm saying? And everyone seems to have some type of dream as to believing that there is something else there based on religion and even Zionists. The Zionists is crooks and killers altogether. I do not believe in nothing they have to say, nor do I believe that Israel is even is any kind of culture or race within that region. You know what I'm saying? You were put there, given that name and that flag and that goal, and then you're killing off the people with no mercy. Does not show well for the United States. Why did creepy Joe Biden, question number one, and Britain put Israel or the so-called people and then create this religion and all this different stuff and put them there? Why you didn't put them in Europe? Isn't that the superior land, as you say, because you're white and superior and everybody else is a monkey? So why would you go into their land when you have a land of your own? And why didn't you create it there? Why did you go into Egypt and the Gaza Strip? Is what is unbeknown and should be asked. And then you back it up with your military might to the point where now you spark off something without thorough investigation as to what truly happened. You know what I'm saying? And now you are persecuting the people, bombing shelters, kids, children, and all types of shit. You're killing us, starving the people to death, literally right in front of our face. We don't have to see it, but we know it and we hear it, and we should know. You know what I'm saying? People of the world must band together now to save what is yours. And this world is yours, not theirs. You know what I'm saying? So we must all band together, and if we have to, we must go to Gaza and put our lives on the line by the billions and the millions and show the world what we mean when we say, you know what I'm saying, by the people, for the people. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get this together, because this piece of news that I'm hearing here about Donald Trump is garbage. It's trash. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show a lot of people are on the wicked side. It seems to me that the righteous is losing, is the deed. But at the same time, this is not about just Donald Trump only. Let's get that clear. This is about more than that. And it has always been more than that. Because the common people could simply say a guy on the corner drinking a 40 ounce of beer and smoking a blunt could simply say, well, what the fuck? I don't care about that shit. Oh, ain't nothing about that, huh? What I'm gonna do? I ain't gonna do nothing. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. And all that bullshit. That's cool and fine and dandy if that's the way you feel. But the rest of us in the world feel it for those that cannot speak or have the voice to speak, such as we do. So for us to not say anything, nor investigate or do thorough research in all that is in the matter at hand, only goes to show that you in yourself is committing a crime, a atrocity to humanity as well, because silence is a crime when you know that you should be speaking up. So this is Point Blank saying, stay right, stay tight, stay in the fight. I'm going to come back because we're not over. The fight's on tonight. So, farewell.